Here we have a 2017 BMW 330i sedan. This one comes in mineral gray metallic, and then we have black leather interior. And the powertrain consists of a 2-liter, 248 horsepower turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And this one has just a little over 60,000 miles here at Ford Lincoln of Franklin, and a huge shout out to them for letting me review this car today. But as we come around to the front end here, love the design. We have the LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights. And just a great look, especially in this mineral gray. And the lights don't flash like that. That's just how the camera's picking it up. But love these BMWs just because I think the grille size is the perfect size before they got too big on some of the newer models. But down here we have 18-inch aluminum wheels. We get passive keyless entry on the front doors. And then one-touch automatic up and down windows on all 4 doors. Rear window locks here. We can pick a side for the power mirrors and use the dial there to adjust either side. And we can also power fold them by hitting that button there. Fog light controls, headlamp controls. We also have automatic lights as well. Hit this twice to pop the hood. Trunk release is there. And there we have our power driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar support. And then we also have our memory seat function, so we can hit the button to recall or hit set and then hold the number you want to set it to. Now before we check out the rear seat room, we're just going to take a quick look at this window sticker that's on here. And let's go ahead and hop back here, if I can fit. So not the best leg room, but not awful either, especially for this to be just the smaller 3 Series. I'm 6'3", have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, and the seats lean back a bit. So not terrible. And we do have rear AC vents and then a 12 volt right in there. And then the center seat folds down, and then you can hit this, and then the bottle holders are in there. And then you can pull that all the way down, then you have a little access to go through the back seat there. So I like how they did that. And then we have the premium dome lights and reading lights throughout the vehicle, which is great. And then a hanger hook there. Might be able to put 1 plastic hanger, maybe 2 metal hanger hooks there. See if I can get out of here. Ow. Oh, it is a tight squeeze here. I think I just messed my shin up. But seat back pockets are on both sides. Ooh. Whew, that is snug. There's a back end there. And there is our trunk space. Now I like how we have the side pocket there and then the netted one over here. And there's a little storage down in there. I wonder if the window sticker's in here. Probably not. Yeah, it doesn't look like it is. Oh well. And we can pull this here to fold down the seat. But before we look at that, fuel cap is there. Premium is pretty much required on this. But pretty neat setup how you're able to just fold the seats down. Very simple process. The anchors are there. And then to our front passenger side, we get power adjustability with that 4-way power lumbar again. And then a lockable glove compartment there. And I love the trim thread. I love that look there. Just makes it look more premium in my opinion. Now coming back around to the front end, since we hit that latch twice, we can just pull up on the hood. And then we have the twin scroll turbo 4-cylinder there. It's mostly covered up. And I'm wondering what's up with this engine, because it does have the check engine light on now, and it's just giving a little shudder every so often. So that might be something computerized that's gone bad, I don't know. But to the steering wheel here, leather wrapped, little wear on the sides, but it's held up pretty nicely long term. There's a horn. And then to the radio, let's go ahead and check that out. So we have, first of all, satellite, FM, AM, and an aux input. And then we also have a USB port, Bluetooth audio, and we still have a CD player, which is right down here. And then we can manage our mobile devices to connect a device and just go in there and use it for CarPlay, Bluetooth, all of that. And then here's our backup camera. And then we have the parking sensors that are shown right here. Let me turn this off for a second. And you can maybe see that. It's kind of hard to see. There it is there. So it shows you as you get close to certain objects, whatever. And then back to the screen, we do have a navigation system as well. So you scroll using the bar, and then you can either zoom in, zoom out, or find a route, guidance, all of that. And you can decide, hey, I want to go to blah, blah, blah. I want to set an address, go through recent destinations and everything there. I feel like every time I get behind the wheel of a BMW, the infotainment system is completely changed. But this is pretty easy to use once you get used to it. But you kind of, if you're used to American-made vehicles especially, it's not the same by any means. But that's where all of our settings are. And I like that you can kind of see what you're about to go into on the right side there as you scroll through. One thing I don't like is that we don't have a touch screen, because this can be cumbersome to use, especially when you're trying to find something. That's just doing this as opposed to going through the dial, so on and so forth, but whatever. And down here, we can go through radio station presets when they're assigned. And then volume controls here, you can click that to mute. And then you can use this mode button to go through the audio sources. AM, FM is right there. We do have dual zone automatic climate controls. We can set the auto mode. I like that we could turn it on or off, and you don't have to adjust the fan speed back or turn it down to get the auto mode off. That's pretty neat. And one of my favorite things about the BMWs is being able to change where the fan direction is coming from for the passengers as opposed to the driver. So the passengers got cold feet, they can get heat there, and if I'm hot and I want it in my face, I can do that. So pretty neat setup. And then fan speed can be adjusted. You could set the vents to be on auto or manual. And then 3-stage heated seats for both the front seats. And then here we can close this up. Bottle holders are here, and then another 12-volt there. Traction control toggle, and then we can go between Eco, Pro, Normal, or Comfort, excuse me, then Sport and Sport Plus. And then it shows you all of that in the middle part of the gauge cluster there at the bottom. And then parking sensor toggles there. There's the emergency brake, and then for the shifter, hit the side, pull down for drive. You can come over here to manually shift from the shifter, or using the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Then you can tap up for neutral, hit this, push all the way up for reverse, press P for park. Center console cubby space, small, but you have your USB and your aux input, and then you just have room for your phone there, so not bad. It's our cargo shade. And we can one-touch slide that back, and then we can one-touch close it as well. There's a view of the back seat from up here. You can also tilt as well if you want to do that. And then garage door transmitters here. Vanity mirror, that's what that looks like. You slide it back, the light comes on. I like, again, that we have the more premium LED lights throughout the cabin. And we can change the menu here by hitting this button in the middle. Blinkers, and then high beams we could toggle on, and then you can turn it off, and you also flash that way. And then we have automatic wipers. You could turn those on or off there, and then you can adjust that there, and you can set the wipers themselves there, and then just pull it there for the front wiper fluid. And then auto stop toggles there. Push button starts here. And then our cruise, we can turn that on or off and then resume set there and set speed here. And we can go through our audio sources from the steering wheel here, and it'll show you where that is. Volume controls, Bluetooth, voice recognition. And then finally, here we have the key fob. But now to the fun part. Let's go ahead and take this BMW 330i out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this 330i, not a bad engine. I mean, we do have a check engine light on already, but that could be for anything. I just like how peppy it is, having the twin scroll turbo out of a 4-cylinder, and then you're still able to get 34 miles per gallon highway. Just a good setup here with the 8-speed automatic. And the comfort drive mode is pretty good, just as an all-around, I guess, a normal mode where it doesn't give you full power, but it also can be good with fuel economy. Of course, you put the Sport Plus mode on, and this thing, you feel all 248 horsepower of this 2-liter turbo. Now, having a Sport Plus mode now in manual mode, the shifts are just super quick, as I'm used to in a BMW. But just a super quick car. And the ride quality actually is pretty good just cruising here. Pretty impressed with it being more of a low-slung vehicle. But where you're able to get that 34 miles per gallon highway is, I mean, we're cruising here at almost 60 miles per hour, and we're at 1,300 RPMs with an 8-speed. And the downshifts are pretty fun as well. Now, the only thing that really bothers me about this car so far is really the check engine light. That's kind of worrisome, but I mean, it's driving nicely. Everything seems to be in working order. I just had that shudder when I first got in the vehicle and started it. I let it sit for a minute, and then it just kind of was making that I need to be service sound. But I'm actually surprised, just with the mileage and things of that nature, how smoothly it's driving, how well it's riding, and just how nothing's really pointing out to me as an issue right now. But very quiet in the cabin overall. Not a lot of wind noise, and we're not really at that high of a speed yet, but still, I'm impressed. Just the overall sound I'm getting in the cabin. And another cool thing is, a lot of the times, paddle shifters are not as fun to use in certain vehicles. It doesn't necessarily listen to you when you tell it to do something, but here, when I tell this thing to shift, that's exactly what it does. And overall, the exhaust sound, especially when you put your foot into it, somewhat enjoyable. I would probably put an exhaust system on myself, but it's pleasing for a stock exhaust system, in my opinion. We're gonna try and open her up here on the interstate. I think I have a little room behind me. And what's crazy is it doesn't feel as quick as it's actually going. So I didn't feel that fast until I looked down at the speedometer. I'm thinking, dang. So pretty impressive there. Yeah, very fast, very fast. I'm gonna put it back in the auto mode, and then we're gonna go into Eco Pro. So I'm cruising here at 75 miles per hour. Wind noise is pretty great. Just a tad bit of road noise, but nothing bothersome. I'm listening for it so I can hear it. And I mean, these are one of those cars that you want to run. And if you're into that kind of stuff, then I mean, this is a good option, but they call it the ultimate driving machine. But I think this is definitely a good used option. Only thing I'm worried about again is a check engine light. I don't think it's gonna need to have something super expensive done. A lot of the times that's just computer stuff. But I think it's a really good pre-owned option as opposed to buying a new one. And you still have something that's quick, fuel efficient, and just overall fun to drive. But another huge shout out to Ford, Lincoln, and Franklin for letting me test drive this car today. This will bring me to the end of my review of this 2017 BMW 330i.